the newest tracks, and the next big thing.
Baby, what was that?
And your first place to hear it all. iHeart New Music. Your digital station for brand new drops, fresh finds, and tomorrow's bangers. Updated daily. Tomorrow's chart toppers today. Discover iHeart New Music. Always fresh. Always first. Stream now. Online. On your smart speaker. And on the free iHeartRadio app.
This Week in Gaming with Naomi Kyle.
Happy Halloween, gamers. I'm Naomi Kyle, and welcome back to This Week in Gaming. Last week, I took some time off to enjoy a holiday up in Ireland, but now I'm back and fired up to give you this week's gaming news, all in video for those who are watching. This week, we're catching up on a massive Pokémon leak, an Xbox icon goes multi-platform, and the passing of a video game pioneer. We've got all this week's gaming news. Let's get started. Video games lost a legend recently, the creator of the Dead or Alive series and Team Ninja's founder. Tomonobu Itagaki has passed away at the age of 58. Itagaki-san began his video game career in 1992 as a graphics programmer for Tecmo. Then in 1996, he directed the first Dead or Alive video game, skyrocketing him to legend status where he would go on to lead Team Ninja and reinvigorate the Ninja Gaiden series. Before his passing, Itagaki-san prepared a final message that was shared on his Facebook page. The light of my life is finally fading. The fact that this message has been posted means that the time has finally come. I am no longer in this world. My life has been a series of battles. I kept winning. I've caused a lot of trouble too. I'm proud to say that I followed my beliefs and fought to the end. I have no regrets. However, I'm filled with regret that I wasn't able to deliver a new work to all my fans. I'm sorry. This is just how it is. So it goes. Itagaki-san, thank you for sharing your time with us in creating some of the genre-defining experiences in video game history. You will be missed, and may your games ever stand as a reminder for what it means to just have fun. Days before the launch of their latest title, Pokémon Legends ZA, Game Freak has fallen victim to a massive leak. A breach of this degree has happened to Game Freak before, when almost exactly a year ago to the date, the infamous Terra leak caused terabytes of concept art, developer files, and Pokémon lore to stumble out of secrecy and into the hands of the public. This leak includes beta footage, hand-drawn maps, and proposal documents for past, present, and future titles. One bit of leaked information that is raising eyebrows is the concept for what could be the next mainline title in the series, Pokémon Wind and Waves. It is suggested from the leak that this new game would have players start their journey in a big city, which they would then leave to explore a chain of islands inspired by Indonesia's archipelago. According to the documents, the game has been in development for some time and is targeting a 2026 release window. In other Pokemon-related news, Pokémon Legends ZA has sold over 5.8 million copies, both digitally and physically, in its first week on the market. Selling so many copies after just 1 week puts Pokémon ZA among the 5th best launches in Pokémon video game history. The 4 other titles, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, and Legends Arceus, weren't particularly well received critically and owe their success to the large install base of the Nintendo Switch. Microsoft has announced that 24 years after its Xbox debut, Halo Combat Evolved is getting a remake that harnesses the power of Unreal Engine 5. As the remake's title suggests, Halo Campaign Evolved contains only the game's main story with no versus mode or online matchmaking. To make up for it, Halo Studios is adding 3 prequel missions to Halo's original campaign. The most jaw-dropping detail in this announcement is that Halo Campaign Evolved is coming to the PlayStation 5, giving gamers reason to believe that the console wars have officially come to an end. Microsoft has been easing gamers into the idea of Xbox IP going multi-platform, first with Hi-Fi Rush, rushing back in 2023, then Grounded, Sea of Thieves, and Gears of War followed suit. Now Xbox's Master Chief is being recruited to make the pilgrimage into uncharted territory, and I can't be more excited for more gamers to experience the Halo universe for the first time. And the best part is, new players don't have to go at it alone. Halo Campaign Evolved supports cross-play between platforms, further bridging the divide between Xbox and PlayStation consoles. Halo Campaign Evolved doesn't have a release date just yet, but I speculate that it could be out in fall 2026 when Halo celebrates its 25th anniversary, the perfect time to launch its groundbreaking new title.
Quest complete.
So that's the news for this week. It's now time to chat with our guest. Kahlief Adams is back to talk about all the news, including our predictions for Game of the Year.
Select game mode. Multiplayer.
Hey, Kahlief. Welcome back to This Week in Gaming. It's been a minute I've had you on, and lo and behold, we are doing video this time around, so I'm so excited.
People can see us now?
Yes, they see our faces. Hi, guys.
I moisturized just for you. I made sure I was on point.
You did a little like spa day to just make sure your skin was, your pores were tighter,
Make sure
better.
the beard doesn't look too fluffy. We got it rocking. We got it rolling.
I love that. It's good to have you back on. How you been?
Good. Things are rolling. I think it's been a really busy back half of the year.
Yeah.
Games are coming in fast and furious all over the place, and it's nice to be able to see the end of 2025, which is weird to say out loud on the horizon, but we're almost at the end of the year, and a lot of those conversations are going to be really busy.
Yeah,
really
we're
fun.
already at the end of October. This is about to be November, the penultimate month of the year. I don't understand how time works anymore.
It's all a flat circle. We know.
Yeah, it totally is. All right, let's get into some new stuff. Pokemon Legends EA is out, doing good. But unfortunately, they did get some sort of breach. Game Freak got some info leaked about the game. And the big thing is, of course, that they, talked about past, present, and future titles. Or apparently there were some reports in the documents that revealed some info about that. What are your thoughts in general about this leak? Leaks in general?
Leaks are just hard because they're one of those things of, as a person who does some of this work on the back end and the marketing and kind of community side, like you spend a ton of time kind of safeguarding that good information that you can give to your audience when it's time to give it to them. And it just hurts everyone in the mix. It hurts the developers. It hurts the folks who are trying to help promote that work. And it doesn't really do anything for the fans either. You're stealing the joy from the fans by giving them something really interesting to be able to grab onto and to celebrate by having these leaks go out early and showcasing and talking about things that they shouldn't necessarily know about yet. So I feel bad for those folks. It's not great. But this is also a part of the way of the world. People are really, really excited about stuff, and they will dig and they will look for stuff. Yeah. And that's rough.
Yeah, it's super rough for the studios. The big, thing that came out of this leak, which again, don't like reporting on leaks necessarily, and I think that it's just a report, and we don't know what's remained true of this leak. But Pokemon Wind and Waves is apparently the next title following this one. What do you think? Do you think this is something we should hold to be true? Is it something that you think fans are excited about not liking?
I think fans are going to be excited for any new Pokemon anything. Yeah. if Pokemon fans are excited about anything coming out of that camp. I haven't seen a lot of details about what the game is supposed to entail,
of course,
but I do think, I think there's a space that's in between like folks who have a foot in the door of information and know stuff.
Yeah.
And then there are people who have been kind of in that space and who are kind of nefarious for doing that stuff early. So it's always hard to kind of know and take everything with a grain of salt. But I hope in the grand scheme that if that is the next game, that it's going to be something that fans are going to be excited for. I think that's always the end result is, are you going to be excited for whatever that thing is? Yeah. And Pokemon fans are excited about most things. So that's dope.
Yeah. And I think they could always, a title being what it is, they could always change it down the road. There's
just
still
flip the words
to be had. Yeah.
Just flip the words and freak everybody out. Just call
Waves and Wind.
Waves
oh my God.
Win. We got you. It's not what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We're going to cut quickly to Games Out this week, folks, and we'll be right back.
Introducing Bryan Adams Radio on iHeartRadio. Hosted by Bryan Adams himself.
Join me for an insider look on a wild ride through 40 years of global rock and roll.
Bryan Adams Radio. Now available on the free iHeartRadio app. Or ask your smart speaker to play Bryan Adams Radio on iHeartRadio.
Who's ready to rock?
Games Out this week.
Starting on October 28th, Outbreak Island and Ire, a prologue, get marooned on PC. On October 29th, The Outer Worlds 2 blasts off onto the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and is available day one on Game Pass Ultimate. Then on October 30th, Arc Raiders embarks on PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Stray Children is transported onto the PC and Nintendo Switch. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake gets retro on the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X, and a Switch 1 and 2. And on October 31st, Tales of Exalia Remastered restores balance on the PS5, PC, Switch, and Xbox Series X and S. The Epic Game Store is offering 2 free games this week. Into the Pit and Bendy and the Ink Machine will be available for download from October 30th until October 6th.
Quest accepted.
And we're back. All right. More news about some upcoming titles. I think Halo Combat Evolved, it's getting a remake.
Yeah.
As a Halo fan, are you excited about this?
I'm very excited. I think this is good. I got a chance to play it. I got a chance to check out the content a little bit early. Shout out to our friends over at Xbox for giving us some ability to go play and check out that stuff. And it's good. Like, I think as a person who's been a big Halo fan for a long period of time and being able to kind of go back and have that nostalgia, but also have this new flair because of the beautiful, like stunning way that this thing looks in Unreal 5. I'm hyped for it. And I think a lot of folks are really excited for it too.
What about the fact that there's no versus mode? There's no online matchmaking. Any thoughts on that as a fan?
I think that's smart. I know a lot of people are mad about that. I know a lot of folks are like, "Why this isn't a real product because there's no multiplayer, which Halo is known for." I think you save all that goodness for the next Halo game. Like you're getting a glimpse of what this thing could look like in Unreal 5 and some of the ways it'll feel. But I think holding off on that and not putting it in this product is actually really, really smart for them. I think that's a brilliant move.
So they're kind of holding stuff so that they can release it later, perhaps, or just part of a whole new game. What do you think Halo needs at this point? Do you feel like it's in a good spot?
I mean, Halo Infinite launched in a not great way. I think a lot of folks still are kind of, they're holding on to that memory of when it launched. But I think it had a really big resurgence in a lot of different ways. We saw this past weekend with the Halo Championships that a lot of folks still care about this series and about this IP. And I think you saw a lot of folks who are really excited about it coming back. I think the thing it needs is fresh new blood. It needs a little bit of a new campaign that's really going to captivate people. It really needs to innovate on the multiplayer side whenever it does drop, because it needs to feel competent up against COD and in Battlefield at this point. And Arc Raiders, which is going to be another game in the mix that I think a lot of people are going to be excited for. So I think they're really going to have to lean into making that multiplayer as fantastic as it possibly can. And now that's going to be on multiple platforms. That's going to be a big deal for a lot of folks in the PlayStation camp too, which is going to be cool to see.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what's been your read on people adopting this just a lot of Xbox games now being multi-platform? Like, do you think the sentiment is, yay, we're excited, we're cool with it? Or are people still holding on to the, console wars, I guess?
People are holding on to the console wars for dear life. They are not happy with this moving over to another platform, which I feel is a little bit sad. I think, we saw a lot of good information kind of come out this week, or at least some sentiments around like why this is happening from some of the Xbox brass. And I think if you're paying attention, one of the big bullet points were discussing like how TikTok and other forms of media are soaking up a lot of people's attention. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a real deal. I think a lot of folks are looking to find good ways to take time away from Roblox or Fortnite or any of those big juggernauts. And you're going to have to get your game in every space to be able to compete. And I think this is going to be a really smart move for them in the future. And they've laid the foundation with a lot of this, moving with Xbox Play Anywhere and some other pieces of the ecosystem. But this is a smart move for the future of not only that franchise, but for games in general. I think this is a good move.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think, I'm definitely an Xbox fan. Mm-hmm. And I think that, whatever Microsoft decides to do, I think they're thinking bigger picture, and I think they're thinking about the larger ecosystem and like the way things are going, the fact that there is an attention divide pretty much everywhere right now. So back to Halo, though. Halo's still such a huge franchise. Do you think that it should be rebranded in any sort of way, given a new look, anything like that? Something that might, like you talked about, fresh blood and like having other people work on the properties, bringing new ideas. Is there anything like that you thought of? And I also saw that Halo's still pretty talked about. Like the show even kind of got a little bit of a boost because it got put on a new platform and people are loving it.
Yeah.
So, there's perhaps new eyeballs being brought to the franchise. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think the new eyeballs are good. I think we saw a little bit of what it could potentially look like with Halo ODST, which was a little bit of an offshoot of the kind of normal Master Chief story. And weirdly, fans didn't like it. Or I shouldn't say weirdly. I think it was a shock to the system in a lot of different ways. It was that kind of, we put Raiden in this game instead of Solid Snake kind of thing.
Right.
And I feel like, we're going to wind up seeing, hopefully a different version of the Master Chief story. I think I am also growing a little bit long in the tooth for what this particular character brings to the space. It's a very monotone, very, one word sentence kind of dude in a suit thing. And I think there could be space to broaden this universe out in some really fun ways. And that means you kind of have to detach yourself a little bit from Master Chief, which I think is the only way to kind of really grow this series in some way. I know I'll get some pushback on that, but I think if you're going to do it right, you have to jump in with both feet, and you can't be scared about what the future holds, and you got to kind of do that stuff.
Right. So perhaps new characters?
New characters, focus on some other folks in the space who might be, Master Chief's homies. I want to see the Master Chief's homies version of the game. You roll through. But yeah, I think there's a space for more people in that universe. There are so many books. There is so much story and lore that you can pull from to be able to do that. I think it makes it easier to make the case for it.
Yeah, that was something that I thought about with Mass Effect back when that was a big thing. Like, there's a lot of books and lore there. And, I don't know if they're still making the show. I hope they do. But, there's always new storylines and things to explore. We've seen so many, Marvel, Star Wars, all of them do it. So, it's about finding hitting the right tone and, like, finding the right direction to take it in.
Agreed.
All right, let's get more general here. You have been up to what? What have you been playing? And is there anything in the gaming space you think we should talk about today?
Outer Worlds 2 is fantastic. I've been playing through that for review. I'm still working my way through it. It is so good. Obsidian just makes bangers. They just make really, really good games. I'm a huge Battlefield 6 fan, and I've been waiting for the Battle Royale to drop, and that's supposed to be dropping on the 28th. So that's great. This shadow drop. It's supposed to be a shadow drop, but then it got leaked, and then everyone was like, "Oh, well, no more shadow drop." Everybody
release it now.
Release it now. Let it go. So that's really exciting. I think there's a bunch of stuff that's kind of coming down the pipe. Dispatch is a game I've been looking forward to checking out. Feels like a Telltale game in a lot of different ways. So there's a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe for the end of the year, and just tons of goodies for people to play.
Yeah. What's the big controversy in gaming that has your attention?
The biggest, the big controversy currently is still Xbox stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's been a mix of two things. There's been a lot of Xbox is dead conversations. There's been a lot of fallout from the end of TwitchCon that just happened a couple of weeks ago with some security issues that happened there. But I'm trying to keep my head above the fray and trying to keep it positive and not delve into too much of the negativity. But I think, people are worried in the Xbox camp about, like, does this mean that the company is going under with that large Bloomberg article that went out about the 30% profit margin raise that is coming down from Microsoft to the Xbox business unit. Lots of discussions there about what that means for the future of that, and not only the future of Xbox, but the future of game development. Is this going to be a big hit to what we can make, and how does that kind of hurt innovation in a lot of different ways? So, lots of good stories to talk about in that general kerfuffle of stuff, but like really, really interesting layers of topics for conversation.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's an interesting time. Lots of upheaval, a lot of different things. Kind of just controversy after controversy, really.
Yeah, lots of rakes being stepped on.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Lots of rakes.
Okay, let's talk end of year, because we're getting up close here to the Game Awards and whoever will be crowned Game of the Year. What's on your list? What's top of the list for you at this point?
Ooh, this is the hard question because there are so many good games this year.
There was a lot this year. A lot
There's
of surprise
this
hits.
year. I'm trying to like go back through my mind and think of stuff that actually dropped, and it's just hard. Like again, we had some really good stuff that just dropped.
Yeah.
I think Ninja Gaiden 4 is going to be in that conversation somewhere. Outer Worlds 2 will probably be in there as well. Avowed will be in there somewhere as well. You know, with Obsidian dropping two big games this year. Expedition 33 definitely should be in there. Like if that gets forgotten, that's going to be a travesty. And I think there'll also be some like really weird small things that kind of pop in. Like right now, Ball X Pit is the bane of my existence. I'm playing so much of that as a weird kind of offshoot. It's basically what is it? Blockout. That's like the old Atari version of it, but it's basically like Arachnoid, but almost in a new form. That tells me how old I am. But there's a lot of good stuff that's coming down the pipe. What about you? What are some of the kind of big ones on your list?
I think for me, probably Split Fiction, but I don't know if it's if it was too early in the year to even be like, are they going to forget about it? I'm just worried. I'm worried at this point if it's going to be something that, it's just not the happening thing right now. And they kind of go for the ones that happen, mid-year, end of the year. So I'm hopeful for that one to win, to take home something, because I really enjoyed that. Yeah, that was it's really innovative in how they did it.
I love that team. That team is so brilliant. They make some fantastic games. Yeah, I hope that doesn't get lost in the mix for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to keep tabs, but it's coming up soon, guys. All right, I think that wraps up our first video episode version of the show. Obviously, if you're listening audio, well, you can always watch the video version on the YouTubes. But thank you so much, Kahlief. Hope you'll come back for another episode soon. And,
anytime.
Good talking games with you. See you soon.
Same. Bye.
Kahlief Adams is a content creator and host for the Spawn on Me podcast. You can follow him on Twitter at Kahlief Adams.
Flawless victory! Continue!
And that's This Week in Gaming. I'm your host, Naomi Kyle. I had the best time bringing you all the latest in games. Thank you so much for listening, and shout out to my co-writer, Josh Seaman. From all of us here at This Week in Gaming, we wish you a fun-filled week, and we'll see you again same time, same place. Thanks for listening. Bye.
This Week in Gaming is an iHeartRadio Canada podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app for more podcasts just like these.
Introducing Bryan Adams Radio on iHeartRadio. Hosted by Bryan Adams himself.
Join me for an insider look on a wild ride through 40 years of global rock and roll.
Bryan Adams Radio. Now available on the free iHeartRadio app. Or ask your smart speaker to play Bryan Adams Radio on iHeartRadio.
Who's ready to rock?
Everywhere I go, kids wanna rock.